Hello and welcome to The FOMO. I'm your host, Ruchira Jain. I'm founder of Elevate Insights, and it's my pleasure today to have Aditi Seni, who's founder, Rich Consulting, ex-Nestle, ex-PepsiCo, and Gaurav Thapar, who's a great marketer, ex-Coke, ex-Gulfit. So welcome to the show, Aditi and Gaurav. Today we're discussing a lovely topic, very exciting, which is AI in advertising and the role of AI in marketing in general, but sharply focused on what campaigns caught our interest. And I was just thinking there's been a whole range of very interesting campaigns leveraging AI in different ways, from Virgin trying, deepfaking Jennifer Lopez, the brand ambassador, and personally inviting travelers on board, to Britannia with Jim Jam building a world full of Jim Jams. So all kinds of very interesting takes on what one can do today with leveraging different kinds of apps and AI out there. But I guess the campaign that catches a lot of attention and has received a lot of adulation is Cadbury's campaign. It's my personal favorite too. Because it's a campaign which kind of touches the consumer's heart, the Cadbury birthday song. I'd love to kind of understand, maybe start with you, Gaurav, on what you think is their thinking behind the campaign and why did they do this particular activation?
Every marketer worth his or her salt today is eager and keen to understand how to use AI, and I think there's no better sort of example in this context than Cadbury. Advertisers are collecting, enriching and monetizing the first party data. And they're using AI tools to sort of create patterns, to kind of create customized, personalized campaigns. That's something which a lot of marketers are doing. So that's not a new thing. That's like 2022, right, as we speak. However, where I think Cadbury's has kind of excelled is it's somehow, kind of managed to bring together the data part of this campaign with the cultural insights, because that is where the cookie normally crumbles, right? Whole insight of this whole happy birthday song campaign was that, of course you want someone to kind of personalize in a way, put effort when they come and wish you on your birthday, right? And many, of course, the gifts and all apart, they want it to be personalized, right? Secondary insight was that, if you have somehow not been able to make an effort for some time in that relationship, you're living away from your parents, but somehow we take them for granted, right? So in a way, if the relationship has some kind of tension which needs to be resolved, it is a beautiful way to kind of do that. Cadbury excelled because they brought this cultural tension, the cultural insight, the consumer truth, and with, of course, the role of the brand, which Cadbury is best placed to kind of solve, because they are one of the biggest gifting brands, and of course it's an extra occasion for apart from Diwali and festive occasions for the brand.
Break down each and talk about each in the conversation, but first the zoning on what you said is the insight, right? कि जब लग रहा है कि कुछ extra effort मारना पड़ेगा, तब someone might want to share the information, take this effort to customize a song for their loved one. So it's a nice understanding the insight. Love to kind of build on that first, Aditi, and ask your view on why particularly Cadbury was best placed to do this, and as a brand, how it fit with Cadbury in the large.
If you ask me, obviously the campaign is brilliant. And the campaign is brilliant because one, it leverages the whole AI, which is the talk of the town. Any marketer right now, the moment you say AI, jumps at the opportunity of saying that they're keen and interested and want to know more about it and what they can do, AI can do for their brand. Generally, AI is used in like 4 different spaces, if I see it, like in terms of marketing. One is, your typical cost optimization, right? Where, you're trying to save costs by, processing the data faster and, in a more productive way. The second angle typically where AI into marketing works is, it should be a clear revenue growth driver, right? Third typical reason I would think of is business continuity. When I say business continuity, I mean collecting data and for the long term and for more strategic reasons and thinking through the continuous business goals that one has and might evolve. collecting that 1P data to then utilize it for the future of the organization. Fourth one, which I typically think the organizations want to use it for, is for customer experience, right? And I think this is where the sweet spot lies for Cadbury's. I think it is about creating an experience for their audience. And why Cadbury's? Because Cadbury's is a brand that, that is being loved. We consider Cadbury's as a brand that we trust. Why? Because it stands for love and happiness for all of us. And hence, they have a right to succeed in building that experience by bringing that emotion, using that emotion to bring us together. I think experience is the core of it, and experience is a very strong and a very, I would say, marketing forward reason which they're using it for, and a very right reason as well.
Brands have done, like Coke does, personalized bottles and so on, right? So other brands have tried to personalize, but their limitations on our physical product में कितना personalize कर सको. So they're able to do in the same thing without consumer realizing it, because आप इतने interesting चीज के लिए data दे रहे हो, you don't even think of it as data देना. I guess you're showing information to make the song personalized. And why that's so critical in this day and age, especially for brands like Cadbury's and all who are not tech-first brands, and how this can help, whether you're a tech-first brand or whether you're a CPG brand, how the two of them must come together in really powerful, and how technology is kind of creating the space where both great creative thinking and great data acquisition can come together.
So essentially this experience creation is the whole new model of marketing. This experience that they've created for their, users with a clear value exchange, right? Which is, you can personalize a song for your, loved ones, right? This is such a unique proposition or such a unique value exchange. It's so desirable that, as you rightly mentioned, people will not even think about the fact that not only they're not sharing their own first party data, but also whoever they're dedicating the song to, they're sharing so much enriched information about that person. So what are the likes, what are the dislikes of that person, what makes him feel special, and so on and so forth. And for a gifting product, it is such a powerful goldmine of an information to have. Because tomorrow you're going to use this information to monetize that information, right? By sending customized emails, by using that data to create lookalike audiences of similar people with similar interests, similar likes, similar dislikes, and that helps you both, with your improving your marketing effectiveness on a Meta or a Google, but at the same time it also improves your direct marketing. Firstly, restricted to maybe emails and texts to like dear Gaurav, dear Ruchira, to that extent. Now it's going to start getting even to the messaging. So the whole audience planning is now coming to reality in fruition, and this is the future. These highly personalized and customized messages, which will make the person, which will obviously improve the engagement, right? At the end of the day, it's all about the click-through rate of that email, of that WhatsApp, or of that Facebook ad, right? So effectiveness is going to go leaps and bounds. It's going to be, the entire message is going to be absolutely, tweaked to the last person or last mile. So that's the future, I think.
I just want to add one thing to what Gaurav you said in terms of, yes, it's about the CTRs, right? Like you said. But I think what you very rightly mentioned is the effectiveness of that CTR, right? So the quality of that CTR, nobody measures right now. And that is what the experience adds on to. That actually came to my mind, which now I can recall, is there was Dark Fantasy. I don't know if you guys have seen, but Shah Rukh Khan ka ek campaign kiya tha, in which what they did is, so Dark Fantasy is all about pleasure, right? It's at the end of the day, that's what they position themselves as, like, it's about pleasure. So they had done this whole campaign where what you can do as a consumer is you can create a personalized advertisement featuring yourself alongside the Shah Rukh Khan. They have the data, they can create these cohorts, and then they can create even further enriching experiences where this whole pleasure now takes a whole new definition for them, right? And that improves the quality of the CTR, which may not be measurable on the surface of it, but that experience does have a significant, deeper impact in the minds of the audience.
When content, culture and commerce come together is when we are really leveraging the power of AI. Even as AI can do multiple other things, brand is able to leverage it to create this magic of first party data and consumer experience coming together, that it's loved, I think, is an important point, that a lot of companies are collecting first party data but don't know what to do with it. I think we both raised some very good points on what they can do. Gaurav, you spoke a little bit about the fact that they can now use it as a way to personalize campaigns, full campaigns to these people, especially on digital. Now, once I have your data, I can reach you. What are one or two big things you see coming in the next few years?
Personalization is now obvious, right? I mean, anyone kind of saying that for us to kind of say that this is any marketer who's at the cutting edge knows that. What else, right? So one use case that's going to be very powerful. When is the personalization happening? Right. So one thing is personalization happening as a post facto. The other thing is personalization at a real time rate, real time engagement. So imagine now we're going to have India versus South Africa, right? So imagine Virat is a favorite player of mine and the brand knows it. Imagine it sending me a personalized WhatsApp message during the game when Virat, and I fingers crossed he does, during the game when he hits his half century or when he hits a six. Right? And that is going to be extremely powerful. But the real power of personalization is going to come when I receive it and I'm ready to receive it. And that day is not far. It's not going to be very, very easy for bigger organizations. But I think bigger organizations will figure a way around it, and it's already happening. I've seen campaigns during the football World Cup which were like real-time personalization.
Term for this of situational salience, right? It's not just important to be salient, it's important to be salient in the moments it matters the most. Maybe not for Cadbury, but for a food and beverage brand, makes a lot of sense to also think about that moment as a moment to kind of personalize it. So I understand you as a consumer, I understand your likes and dislikes, and I know which moments matter the most for me as a category. When all of that come together, I can now start to target you in that moment.
I would take it even one step further. So one is obviously the moments that you talked about, right? Captivating moments, and then you're utilizing the information to make sure you're able to lock those moments, right? As AI progresses more towards your general intelligence increases within AI itself, right? It becomes more human intelligent. I think there's a real opportunity that eventually we'll find where these experiences are to almost like not manipulate, won't be the right word, but recreate or impact your emotions. I think that would be like the next leg of it. So it would be captivating our emotions first, and then I think having an impact on the emotion that maybe through a brand you're able to bring me closer to my celebrity, my influencer who I want to.
Imagine all brand mascots. You think of the Ronald McDonald. Imagine those mascots coming at you in the moment of consumption. Of course, so one is personalization in the right moment. So moment marketing, for the lack of a better word, personalized to you, but also delivered by or in consonance with the with that person. So let's say a Cadbury mascot or whatever, whoever is kind of comes and kind of talks to me like, I hope you're doing fine. And by the way, if this sounds like futuristic, it's not, because check reports which say that people are going to be talking more to their AI counterparts than it's already happening in our households as we speak. Scary, but it's the truth. We can't change that people are going to have more conversations with AI than humans.
Lovely conversation. I'll just sum up, I think, the two or three important points that you guys raised, right? One, I think clearly brands which are able to get to the intersection of culture, commerce and content coming together while using that entire trifecta to gain first party data are brands that are leading the way today. Today we may be only personalizing content. Soon we'll be able to leverage it to create salience in the moments those matters. What I loved in the future you painted was really about how it can go to the next level of human intelligence, where you're almost interacting in the moment with the brand, understanding how you may be feeling in the moment, and that's largely coming from the way, the pace at which the technology is evolving, which is mind-boggling and hard to kind of keep pace with, but a reality in many ways. We can see it happening as we speak. So lovely conversation, guys. Thank you so much for the time.